Hi guys, so now we're just going to be doing a little bit more of the algebraic stuff with writing an equation either in graphing form, nice underline, huh? Or in standard form. Not good with the underlines. So graphing form is the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So this is pretty easy. They tell us the center and the radius, so we just plug these numbers into here, here, and right there. So what we're going to do is rewrite that as x minus h, so this is our h, this is our k, so x minus 4 squared plus a y minus a negative 1 squared equals the radius of 6 squared. So simplified, that's going to be x minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 36. Sweet. Alright, so let's write it in standard form. You remember standard form was this one. It looks more like this. Okay, that's our standard form. So what we're going to do is, in that vein, we're going to start by writing it in this form, then just distribute and write it in standard form. That's the easiest way to do these, okay? So, be a little bit of writing, and here we go. Oh, diameter with endpoint 0, 2 and 4, 8. So we know that if we have, looks basically like 0, 2, and over 4 up 8, that's around this-ish. If that's the diameter, then there's our circle. Alright, so what we need to do is find the length of this and then cut it in half because that's our radius. So how do I find the distance between 2 points? It's basically the Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to look at how far over, how far up. If this is my right triangle, then I can use the Pythagorean theorem to find that distance. So here my A is from 0 to 4. So A is 4. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. My B is from 2 to 8, so it's a 6. And then I'm going to solve for the C. The general distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. But as you can see, if you understand the geometry of it, you never need to remember that. I don't really remember that. I just know the Pythagorean theorem. I know this distance is 4, that total distance is 6. I'm going to do c squared equals the square root of, or no, c squared equals 4 squared plus 6 squared, which is 16 plus 64. So then that is, no, just kidding, 36. My bad. So then that is going to equal 52. That's c squared, so c equals root 52. And then our radius is half of that. So since that's the diameter, we want half of this. Our radius is 1/2 of root 52. And then our center is the midpoint. So I found the radius, now I gotta find the midpoint. You can do them in either order. You can find the midpoint first, then the radius, no matter. So then the midpoint is always just the halfway point between these. So it's the averages of these coordinates. So if that's 0, 2, and this is 4, 8, then the average of those, it's going to be the average of the x's, and the average of the y's gives you the coordinates of the midpoint between any 2 points. So that's going to be a 0 plus 4 over 2, and 2 and 8, so 2 plus 8 over 2. And think about it, halfway between 0 and 4 is 2. Halfway between 8 and 2 is a 5. So we're going to get 2, 5 here. So we have 4 over 2 is 2. And then 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that's our center. So the midpoint of a diameter gives us our center, and then once you find out the distance of the diameter, half of that is our radius. So then what we're going to do is now have to actually write it out, and we want to write it in standard form, so we get a little bit more work to do. Let me skinny up my pen here. So what we're going to do is write this as x minus 2, because it's the opposite, squared, plus y minus 5 squared equals the radius squared. So we're going to square this, and that gives us a 52 over 4. If I square this, square root of 52 squared is 52, square root of 2 squared, or 2 squared is 4. So that gives us this, which equals 13. So we're going to write that as a 13. Isn't that lovely how that works out? So we're going to expand this out, FOIL it out, and we get x squared minus 4x plus 4. If I'm doing this part too fast, just pause it and try to do it yourself, but you guys should know how to multiply these out. Alright? And then, remember, you don't just distribute the square, you have to do y minus 5 times y minus 5. So that's plus y squared minus 10y plus 25 equals 13. Now we collect all terms over to the left side. And by convention, we go x squared, xy, y squared, and then x and y and numbered. So that's just the convention of how we're going to do this. So we got x squared plus y squared. There's no xy term, so we just got minus 4x minus 10y, and we want to subtract this 13 over, so it equals 0, and that gives us a plus 12 equals 0. There is our standard form of our circle. Alright, so this is your U-try. Write the equation of the circle in standard form of the equation of the circle that passes through these points. So I didn't give you the endpoints of the diameter. So how are you going to figure that out? What we're going to do is first graph it. Now the ones on your worksheet, you do get the endpoints of the diameter, so you can do it just like this one. But just so you can do your homework. Come on. Graph these points. Stop. 0, negative 1, over 2, up 1, over 4, down 1. So this is actually our center, because up 2, over 2, back 2, that's equidistant from all 3 points. So that's going to be our center. Though you could figure it out just from the geometry of this picture, I want you to do the algebra out using the distance and the midpoint formulas so that you can do it and get practice for even when the numbers don't work out so easy like they do in this picture. So we're not using this. These are the endpoints of the diameter for you to do this U-try. Alright, see you tomorrow.